Do you think that Jim Florio made a tactical mistake by saying during the campaign that he wouldn't raise taxes and then being held accountable for that when he became elected? Or was saying that there was no need to raise taxes something that had to be said in order to get elected?
I don't think the latter. I think in the case of saying no need for new taxes, I think the campaign and the congressman at the time truly believed it. It was one of those situations where you don't have access to all of the information, as good as the access might be, or at least you think it is, and as good as the information is that you think you have. You are not dealing necessarily with legislative services staff and your own state treasury staff when you're running for office.
But journalists who didn't have that kind of access were certainly making that observation at the time. Why was it widely known among them but not among people who were involved in Jim Florio's campaign?
No, I understand what you're asking. I think part of it is it's not so much that you have to say it. It's one of those things where you really are going based on what the information is that you've got. And we had no particular reason to believe otherwise. And certainly when you're running, there's a tendency to want to say things that you don't necessarily, that you can't live up to. So it'd be easy to say, it's easy to say absolutely ironclad not. What he said was, I don't see the need, or I see no need to raise new taxes. And it's one of those things where I'll take a look at the situation that exists. Mm-hmm. Folks can interpret that any way they choose. But I think until you see information otherwise, I think you go in with the best of intentions and the expectation that once you gain the opportunity to see the information and you gain the opportunity to look at state government, you may be able to, and hopefully can, start making some cuts strategically where it will not necessarily result in you having to raise taxes.
Mm-hmm. I guess the cynic in me suggests that a lot has been written about the fact that in order to get elected, people need to say certain things. And by saying those things, it makes it very difficult for them to govern once they've been elected. And it seems that that's something that continues to this very day.
No, probably. Look, if he said, I see no need to raise new taxes, and he didn't have to raise new taxes, that's a great thing. Unfortunately, you don't get to choose when you govern. And in this case, he came in and he said what he said during the course of the campaign, and the circumstances clearly dictated otherwise. And you do not, I think the magnitude of the problem was really not known at that point in time. Mm-hmm. Notwithstanding the brilliance of the media.
We journalists. Yeah.
That's right.